Hey, welcome back, watch fans. The Colonel is back with another brutal watch review episode. We got Mike writing in. Of course, before we get started, we got today, last couple of days, we've been wearing the Rolex day date blue dial on the strap. Okay, Mike from Montreal is writing in. Mike says, I'm Mike from Montreal. Here's my humble connection. Rolex sub patina developing Air King, love it. Omega Speedy, Archie Man on the Moon, and he's got a couple of vintage pieces. Longines, wear it when in a Bogart Casablanca mood. Now, Mike, I don't think anybody in our audience knows Bogart or Casablanca. I don't think they know what that is. He says, my next watch will be a JLC reverse duo face. I like that. I think your YouTube is great. Of course it's great. Come on. Of course it's great. By the way, I know what your left arm looks like, but why no face? Because I'm too damn good looking. I don't want to intimidate you punters out there. Now, okay, guys, what do you think? Now, leave your nasty, vicious comments below. I'll tell you what I think, my friends. Let me tell you what the Colonel thinks. First glance at this collection, this looks like these are. I don't know if you can see from the quality of my high-res images here, but this looks like a, the guy earned it. This is not some Bitcoin bro, some Bitco broski, some young whippersnapper. This is a guy who's probably a beaver trapper in Montreal, trapping that beaver, in freezing temperatures, sub-freezing. And then, on the weekends, he takes his beaver pelts to the trading post, gets his money. They probably pay him in some gold coins, and he goes and gets drunk on cheap Canadian whiskey and chases two-legged beaver. That's what I get the sense of what we got over here. Now, I like these pieces. They have a beaten-in look. I don't like this shiny stuff where I just this is my first car commission check. I sold some Hondas and okay. Let's take a look. We got the King Tut, the Rolex Bluesy, the King Tut. That is a keeper. That's a classic. Now I know some of you guys say no, you want it's too. Listen, the guy's in Montreal. Okay, it's. You ever been in Montreal in the winter? There's only two things to do, and one of them is watching hockey. And the other thing is what? I don't know if the other thing is what. How come they have such a small population if sex is the other thing you do in the winter? But I don't know. Anyway, let's get back on the topic here. So you got the black Submariner. I think that's a little boring. That's boring. It's a shitter. Everybody has one. I don't care what people say. You need a little warm yellow gold or rose gold if you live in Canada, especially in Montreal. Those winters are brutal. Now, you got let's see. So get rid of this. It's a piece of shit. Get rid of this Air King. This is a disaster. This dial is a mess. It's a hot mess. It's like a dumpster fire. I don't get it. There's no purpose. There's no function. It's the dials. You got numbers. It's confusing. It's a stupid watch. I'd smash it with a hammer. Okay. This is it's a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. Get rid of it. You can't even get an insurance. You can't even get an insurance claim in Canada. Probably. You're probably just gonna have to trade it in now. You got the Speedmaster. You know what I think about the Speedmaster? It's just everybody's got one. I mean, everybody's got that piece of shit. It's like, look, unless you're an astronaut, unless you've been on the moon, unless you've been in the NASA space program in the 60s or 70s, it's just cosplay, okay? You got to get rid of this. You don't want to be... The problem is it's a victim of its own success. I'm sure it's a cool watch. I'm sure the chronograph, all that stuff is great, but, who needs it? And then how many do you have? You got 3 chronographs, man. You got 3 of them. Now... if you want a modern one, I guess, I'd get a Daytona. I'd just get a stainless Daytona on a strap, I think, what are they, like 15 grand, maybe 20 grand? If you really need to have it, if you really must have that chronograph, I don't know what you need it for, but if you must have it, I'd get the Daytona. You got it's a little redundant. Your collection is a little bit too redundant here. Mike, Montreal Mike. We got Montreal Mike. Now this is an absolute beautiful watch. This is gifted to this guy. It looks almost like a Universal Genève. I'm not, I don't know some of these vintage models, but this is a beauty. Hang on, can I just zoom in here? Can I zoom in? Let me see if I can zoom. No, it's a beautiful watch. I would maybe get a different strap, maybe like a suede, like a beige suede strap, or like yeah, I think that would be good. Look, this is a little bit tacky, this strap. I'd get like a beige suede strap for this, or some other color. I don't know. The Longines, I'm not a fan of Longines. I know it's a respectable, very respectable watch company. It's not my thing. It's just not flashy enough for me, okay? I'm a flashy guy, Look, I'm wearing a yellow sweater, for God's sake, and a yellow and blue King Tut date. So, look, I'm a different type of guy. What do you punters think? What do you guys? Leave your nasty and vicious comments below. And by the way, if you guys want to have a review, if you want to have the Colonel review your shitter collection, okay, I shouldn't say shitter. Quality watches. This is a legitimate collection. Don't be sending me no, Timex or Panerai, none of that garbage. Okay. What do you guys think? Leave your nasty, vicious comments below. And again, if you want a collection review, email your picture or video to brutalwatchreviews@gmail.com. brutalwatchreviews@gmail.com. Okay. So real quick to summarize, I would get rid of the Black Submariner. I'd get rid of the Air King. I'd get rid of the what do you call it? The Speedy. And before I forget, let's go to the JLC. Let's go to the JLC now. Let me see here. What do I got here? We got JLC. I pulled up some dual face, right? I'm assuming, look, with the Reverso. Guys, if you're going to get a Reverso, you got to have two different functions. Like this stuff where it's like you just see the back of the watch, that's bullshit. And you don't want to have that stupid blank engraved thing, that's bullshit. I think the Reverso is best when you can have like two different faces, because you can have two different time zones, right? You can have two different time zones. That's the whole point of the watch. You can go like whatever, you get it, right? And they come in gold and steel, whatever. And I think they're beautiful watches. Look, if you're any self-respecting Frenchman, must own a GG Le Culte. GG Le Culte. Yeah, I absolutely. The other stuff is I would trade in. I would get rid of the other stuff. Get the JLC. Get rid of the Submariner. So that's like, I don't know, 10 grand, 25. I don't know. I don't even know what is this piece of shit worth. I'm embarrassed to even look. I don't even want to know about those things. But you got like probably 25 grand or so, 20 grand, 20, 30 grand worth of trade-in. So you can get I would say the dual face, a JLC. You know what? I think if I were you, look, you got a jonesing for that chronograph. You're going to have to get a stainless Daytona. That is what you're going to need to get. And you know what? I'm looking here on Chrono 24. Look, the two tones are the cheapest day dates. And you know what? They're not bad. I think for a guy like you, a two-tone Daytona, you know what? If I were you, I'd maybe trade in maybe the King Tut Submariner. One of the Submariners definitely has to go. But a two-tone watch, for a mature gentleman, an accomplished gentleman such as yourself, I think you need to have a two-tone. You got to have a little gold, especially in Montreal. The winters are brutal. When you look at that watch, you look down at that watch on your wrist when you're trapping that Beaver, or when you're in that house of ill repute with one of those ladies that's 99 Canadian per hour, or you're in one of those strip clubs down there, the all nude strip clubs. You're having some Canadian club. You want to look down on that wrist, and you want to see a little bit of gleam of the yellow metal, the yellow. Okay. And, they love mining. They love gold mining in Canada, right? You got to be true to your heritage. Without beaver and gold, Canada has nothing, right? 15 grand, you could probably get this for, 13 grand. I mean, if I were you, I would do a trade-in. Look at these Daytonas. I mean, look, again, I'm not a Daytona guy. I don't need this bullshit, timing function. I have the I got my Yachtmaster for that. But if you want to pretend like you're Paul Newman or an astronaut or something, I'd get one of these. This is a much better. This is a real watch. When you have a Speedy, that's a bullshit watch. I mean, it's a cosplay watch. I mean, it's like, okay, I know they went to the moon. Okay, great. Did you go to the moon? No. Believe me, a Daytona could have gone to the moon also. It means nothing. These guys they're trying to fleece you. Don't be a tomato can. Mike, don't be a tomato can, a crayon eater, or a window licker, or a lollipop sucker. Get rid of the Speedmaster. No grown man should be seen wearing a Speedmaster, an Omega Speedmaster, unless he was in the space program or it's a vintage piece that he's owned since the 60s or 70s, okay? I don't want to hear about any of you Williamsburg hipsters, with your, record collection that you're buying, your manual, whatever. I don't want to hear about that stuff, okay? You got to get one of these babies. You got to get one of these Daytonas, and it's a beautiful watch. I think the black and the gold. I think it's a stunning look, actually. The black and gold. I mean, this is going to age, I think, very well. This is money in the bank. This is money in the bank, okay? And when you're in that one of those Montreal strip clubs with this watch, you're going to get respect. I mean, when I'm looking at this watch and you look at that Speedmaster and that stupid Air King, I mean, I'd rather have one of these. And the black Submariner, yeah, you gotta get a little gold in your life. Now, guys, look, if you're in your 20s, this is not for you. You got to be at least in your 30s, mid 30s to pull off two-tone or a gold watch. Okay, so. Anyway, what do you guys think? Leave your nasty, vicious comments below. And, of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Press the like button. And if you want to get your watch review, send it to brutalwatchreviews@gmail.com.